I remember I had a debate with an Israeli spokesperson who said, "You're wrong about Israel. Come visit Israel and we'll show you the truth." And so I said, okay, I'll see the truth for myself. I went in 2016 and wow, it was a transformative, life-changing trip. Everything that I thought I knew was actually much worse than I had even thought. I spent 4 weeks traveling all across the West Bank, small villages, refugee camps. I stayed in the Balata refugee camp, Aida refugee camp. I remember going to Hebron, which was the most visceral example of Israeli apartheid I'd ever seen. And then, of course, going into the borders of 48 was just the absolute dichotomous opposite. I mean, you know, spending several weeks with Palestinians, hearing their hearts poured open. I mean, the most beautiful, welcoming, gracious people I've ever met in my life. And no one ever said anything remotely racist. No one said anything remotely anti-Semitic. Okay. And it was just the opposite of the narrative that we've been told our whole lives. Now going into the borders of 48, the racism and bigotry was visceral. It was palpable to the point where I couldn't even bear to be there for more than a couple hours. I mean, I didn't even want to spend money there because I was so disgusted. Okay. There's a reason why Americans are not shown what Israeli society thinks and believes on camera. Okay. We're only shown a very sanitized version of what Israeli society thinks and believes because they handpick spokespeople with American accents to speak to Americans. And, you know, I went around Jerusalem for a few hours and interviewed Israelis, and the results were quite shocking. I mean, the first day that I was there, I mean, literally within 20 minutes of leaving the airport, I remember seeing a row of people walking up a huge hill with their cars behind concrete barricades. And I said, what is going on here? And my friend Nancy Mansour said, oh, this is what they do to just inconvenience Palestinians routinely. They'll just blockade, set up makeshift checkpoints, and make them walk 3 hours outside of where their direct route is to get home. And right out of the gate, I just said, oh my God. A couple minutes later, we saw an ambulance at a checkpoint where they were pulling out a person who was probably bleeding out. I mean, someone who needed immediate medical assistance, and they were checking the ambulance. I mean, we know what they do. We know that they deny Palestinians medical care. So that's what I saw within the first couple hours of being there. A couple hours later, we heard that a farmer was shot in the back for not turning around quickly enough when an Israeli soldier called his name. We went to the funeral the next day, and you know, we spent time with the family. As we were leaving the funeral, Israeli soldiers had set up another makeshift barricade right outside of the house and started tear gassing and shooting rubber bullets at the funeral goers. And I just could not believe what I was witnessing firsthand. I mean, the stories are endless of just being there a few weeks. Going through Kalandia checkpoint, there was an elderly man with arms raised walking toward the security gate, and they just opened fire. Opened fire,
for
bullets
nothing.
were for nothing.
Okay.
For nothing. Bullets were flying everywhere. We were ducking in the car. And, you know, as we know, they have complete and total impunity. They will kill anyone and retroactively justify it. And so at that point, I just realized if they killed everyone in this car, it wouldn't matter. My government would do nothing to fight for my life or accountability for my life, as well as the poor Palestinian man that they were opening fire on.